All right, this Ding with Bob Some Truth. I want to have a conversation about how we treat black women. So this past weekend, Birth of a Nation came out, did about 7 million. Fox Searchlight bought it for about 17 million, so it made about half that. But if you look at the blogosphere and some of the comments that have come out in the wake of it only doing 7 million, which I'd love to have 7 million, there was some criticism on black women, and I saw it even on Facebook posts. People saying, well, you should be out there. You should be ashamed of yourself if you didn't go see the movie. I saw these attacks and criticism, and I was like, why are we doing this? Why are we treating black women this way? And it bothers me because I think it's part of a bigger problem. So like there's an assumption that it's black women's fault that the movie didn't do well. No, has anybody stopped to consider that maybe the movie's not great? I think we're confusing the content, the idea of talking about Nat Turner, which I think is important, with the execution. I went and looked at Rotten Tomatoes, and I wanted to look at the top critics because I think it was Very Smart Brothers did a great article about this, and they included like the top critics, and a good number of them were talking about the movie being flawed. Now, does that mean you shouldn't see it? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm trying to make a point, so just stay with me. The other thing is, if we want to talk about why the movie may not have done well, maybe it's because of Nate Parker's craziness. This is a man who has been asked about these issues from his past multiple times, and he's an actor, so he knows how to fake it. Yet he didn't do that. For a movie he spent 8 years struggling to make. So you can struggle for 8 years to make the movie, but you can't do the interviews to make sure people go out and see it? He had an offer from Oprah to help him so that he could smooth everything over. Fox hired consultants to help him. He went on Steve Harvey. I mean, how many bones you gotta throw the man before you realize he ain't biting? And then it's black women's fault? Here's the thing. Black women can be so supportive of black men. If we're gunned down in the streets, if we got issues with mass incarceration, which we do, even just when our fathers aren't there, like they pick up so much slack. They do so many great things. I'm speaking from experience because I was raised by a single mother, and that's my hero. Amazing woman. Wouldn't be the caring, smart, compassionate man that I am today if it weren't for her. And so it bothers me when I see all these attacks on black women because black women are just, they're amazing. And honestly, I think just an aside, I think too many times we men want black women to attach their worth to us. So if they don't have a connection to us, we don't want to consider them worthy. If they're not our moms or our sisters or our daughters or our grandmothers or our mothers, like, see, there's always this possession there, our. And so it's like sometimes I feel like when black women just want to do their thing, we don't want to be down for them. But when we want to do our thing, we expect them to be down for us. And I got a problem with that. I really do. Because like Black Lives Matter, we talk about Black Lives Matter, but that was started by 3 black women. You think about 13th, which is this amazing documentary by Ava Duvernay. She crushed it. But yeah, she crushed it. And worked with great people, but put out an amazing piece of documentary goodness. And I'm just saying this because I think the way we attack black women is just not fair. And I honestly think sometimes that we attack black women because we as black men care too much about supporting, uplifting ourselves. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. We should not have conditional support of black women that's only contingent on whether we have some sort of possession of them. I think we should be supporting black women because they're humans and because their dreams matter like ours. Like you may say, well, Daniel, I don't know what to do like from this. Like, what do I do next? What's the next step? I think the next step is just listening. Just asking black women like about issues that they talk about when they feel they're not getting enough representation or support or love, or they're just not being listened to. Whatever's going on, why don't we just listen? I'm not trying to say like what black women should and shouldn't do. Notice I've never once said what a black woman or black femme or black transgender should and shouldn't do. I'm not, because I have never lived that life. I'm a black man, straight, cisgendered. I know my lane. I'm really speaking to black men and saying, why don't we support black women? Why don't we listen more? Why don't we talk less? And why don't we just empathize more and say, hey, just want to be here to support you, want to listen, want to know what I can do to help? Because a lot of times, especially with some of the issues that black women deal with, I think they kind of have it figured out sometimes. And I think what they're looking for is just for us to stand by their side and get out of the way.